Yo, shalom, shalom. How y'all doing? It's your brother Zamar in the building again with another one at Dear Them Crown Thinking. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all being blessed. Hope life been treating you well. These gonna be some implementing things that we can talk about for 2026, especially for my brothers out there coming from the same demographic and background that I come from. I understand the struggles that we go through, and first thing that I'm gonna have to bring up is us developing and growing. All right, the mission we gonna be on today is gonna be like Mark 2:17, where he said, I came not for the whole, but I came for those who were sick. I came not for those that are righteous, but I came for the sinner. He came for the person that might be going down a path that need to be recovered to a place. So today let's talk about it. Talk about something real important, right? We're gonna talk about something, and this specific word is called stigma. All right, stigma. If you ain't familiar with the word, go look it up. Research is one of your friends, right? You want to talk about developing, you want to talk about growth, you want to talk about building. Well, this is a great place to start for a young black man in order for you to be able to get past them invisible boundaries that you feel like keep you back and hold you back in life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all type of ways, all right? So let's talk about it. All right, so the video that you about to see in just a second, right here.
Husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still got to show up. You know, that's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like, I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
But I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, man. Is that, do you think, like even what's happening right now, do you guys think that there is another medicine out there, Jonathan, that we're not even realizing that can also be part of the healing for us as black men? And it is the lack of sometimes affection that we feel that we have not been prepared to give each other as black men. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, and I said this earlier, you know, I'm not ashamed to say, man, that I would love to have known what it feels like to have a father hold me, or have a brother hold me and embrace me when I'm weeping tears. And I think that there's something therapeutic about that, but because the culture has always put us against each other, you know, that do you feel, Doc, that we are missing these opportunities to even help heal each other by embracing each other in our darkest moments, to just let each other know, I see you, I got you, and we're gonna be all right? Like, do you think that there's something we're missing in this alpha male, this toxic masculinity that we're dealing with more than ever in our culture?
We're
All right, so in this video, it's showing you what black men have been led into believing this is what validates us as men. Work, all right? And there's nothing wrong with working. We know in order for a man to build, he must work, all right? That's one of the greatest attributes that you can have about yourself, but we gotta understand that everything must be weighed out properly and applied properly. Something out of alignment or that's not harmonious with the way that the creator designed us to be can be detrimental to you too. Because a lot of times us men, through building things, we find purpose, we find fulfillment, because in that purpose and that fulfillment, it gives us validation of who we are. You know what I'm saying? We feel invalid, we feel meaningless sometimes when we feel like we're not adding to something or doing something or moving towards something. Men value movement. We value seeing something play out. We value vision. We value, again, purpose. So this one specific thing that I wanted to bring up, like I said, is stigma. Because a lot of times our do's and our don'ts, our movements and our stagnation is a lot of times based off of this thing called stigma. All right? So let's get to it. So let's talk about it. What is a stigma? A stigma is a set of negative and unfair beliefs, attitudes, and stereotypes society holds about a person or a group due to particular traits, behavior, conditions that leads to approval or disapproval, prejudice or discrimination, and exclusion. This is very important because when you think of stigma, stigma is not solely based upon the person that is observing you from the lens of a stigma, but the person that's suffering stigmatism can be affected because it then can influence their psyche to start thinking from the perspective of the person thinking from the stigma. And all I'm saying is a person may stereotype you and you take on the mindset of how you're being stereotyped, right? So let's talk about it. All right, so there's a thing that we're gonna describe, and it's gonna be deeper than stigma, but it's gonna be social stigma. Number one of the greatest things about being a human is we have the ability to communicate. And communication, language is not always expressed in words. And sometimes in words can be layered with essence about it that can influence you even when something is being said without being said. All right? And this can influence people. Sometimes more than what we want to acknowledge, sometimes more than what we want to see, sometimes more than what we want to even be honest about, right? All right, but it says a stigma originally referring to the visible marking of a people considered inferior has evolved to mean a negative perception or a sense of disapproval that a society places on a group or individual based on a certain group characteristics such as their socioeconomic status, gender, race, religion, appearance, upbringing, origin, or health status. Social stigma can take different forms and depends on the specific time and place in which it arises. Now, of course, when you're dealing with stigma, it's gonna be a little different depending on what group of people you're talking about, who you're talking about, where you're talking about. But I'm talking about particularly in places that we would say are dominant in the Americas, right? Based on our history, based on what we've been through, based on what we're going through, we suffer from a different stigma that most people wouldn't be able to understand unless you come into this part of the world and you have to take part in this system. You hear a lot of people talk about us being suppressed in this system that we're in, and a lot of times people that's not a part of this hub of suffering that we go through here in the Americas, they will never understand it until you partake in it. And even those that are here that are not of the same demographic don't understand, because I'm reading this book called The Miseducation of the Negro, and one thing that I've learned is even reading the book, I have to take my time to comprehend the author. And the reason why I say that, the author is very educated. The author value education at a level that I hadn't had the opportunity to value education like he did, because of maybe the time and how education was viewed. Because something that he was explaining, even with education, is that a lot of times when Negroes became educated in the system that they was a part of, there was a thing they called it philanthropy, where you was given the opportunity to learn from a charitable act, not to catch the person up to be at the same level of those who are ahead of him, but just to give the look and the appearance of a people catching up from a world perspective, a worldview perspective. But that didn't necessarily equate to that person being on the same level of those people that were before them. But the reason why it's important to understand this, because when you understand an era like Jim Crow era, where media was used as an outlet to influence the way of thinking of people, to continue to affect them, where they would have stigmas in their mind looking at a certain group of people, and this certain group of people then, out of frustration, starts to express everything that this other group of people is putting on them. Now, I ain't an advocate for just pointing out, we was done like this, and that is an excuse for how young black men act and respond. But one thing you can't do, especially as a black person, is not look at what is the root problem, because a lot of times people don't understand the psychology of a young black man, why he responds to situations the way he does. Number one, anybody in our position will respond the way that they do. first. But I think it's important for you as a young black man to understand these things, because this can help you and prevent you from making decisions that could affect your life in the long term if you just start thinking on it now. All right, so let's look at another part. It says stigma may also be described as a label that associates a person to a set of unwanted characteristics that form a stereotype. It is also affixed. Stigma may affect the behavior of those who are stigmatized. Look, those who are stereotyped often start to act in ways that their stigmatizers expect of them. This is very important for you to understand going into this new year, all right? Going into this 2026 cycle. Now, for my Hebrews, look, I know that the year starts in the spring, so I don't want nobody to be lights go off in your head. You forget that, you still gonna wake up on January the 1st and you still gonna say it's the year 2026, regardless. You're gonna put that on the date when you doing work or when you whatever. All right, but anyways, number one, it's important to understand this. Those who are stereotyped often start to act in ways that their stigmatizers expect of them. It not only changes their behavior, but it also shapes their emotions and their beliefs. Members of stigmatized social groups often face prejudice that causes depression. Now, number one, we gotta understand, with the lack of resources, and when I say resources, I am not just talking about financial resources. I'm talking about resources even within the home. Because you got, within our society, like I say, I love to study the history of organizations and what people would call gangs in our community. Even if they bring harm to it, it's necessary for us to understand what happened in those times with our people, because this is what's dominant amongst the people. Very dominant. A lot of these groups, even if they started off as negative groups or organizations or gangs or cliques or clubs, at the end of the day, a lot of them did come to the conclusion that we started to become our own destruction. And if we didn't stop, we would continue to bring our community to what our stigmatizers intended for us to be, and what they intended to happen to us. We would eventually start to manifest that, because that's just simply how the social world works. You gotta understand that when I proclaim to be black, there's a social paradigm that comes with that, because I understand what comes with black culture. If I claim to be a Muslim, that is a certain paradigm that comes with being a Muslim. For me, I profess to be a Hebrew. There's a certain perspective and paradigm that comes with that, right? You got to understand that here, that when you looking at this perspective of what it's talking about when it's talking about stigmatism, it's very important to understand that you being a black man, there's going to be a lot that's going to come with that. You are very powerful. You are wise. You are knowledgeable. You are strong. You have the capability to do a lot, more than what anybody can tell you, more than what anybody can break down, because the Creator is the one that uniquely made you. But if you don't carefully examine and understand that, you can easily be led astray into the frustrations of life, because this world is made to prime it out of you. Because socially, most people, you get people who not even born here, who come here, but because they understand that there's dominant social groups that have this stigma on you, they take on that same stigma, and then you are thus put in this constant cycle of being treated like this by everybody, which is unfair, but that's just how it works. So I would rather you understand that it works like this, other than being in the dark, rather than being in the dark and you get put in a situation, you asking why, and the why right before you. All right? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, I got something else I wanted to pull up. Okay. Let's look at it. All right, so number one, let's start some places. Let's just talk about how we can rearrange these things. Number one, I want you to focus on what's ways that you can start to show more self-respect and having a form of dignity about yourself. In the physical, let's work on walking with our chest up. Let's walk in and let's give respect to people when we walk in by speaking. Hello, how you doing? You doing all right? Speaking, waving. You don't have to overindulge in it, but make your presence known by coming in as a formidable person. All right, 2, be confident when you speak. The only way you can be confident when you do something is if you know what you know, if you invested time into what you say you a part of, all right? Whether that's your work, whether that's even talking to your family, talking to your friends. You know, don't be a person that forms opinions without investing your time into it, all right? Focus on listening. Let's focus on listening to people without interrupting, all right? A lot of times, the stigma that's formed around a lot of black men is we are not, we get treated as if we are not capable of being intellects, as if we are not capable of being knowledgeable without going into the system of another and acting like another demographic. You can act like you and still be wise, all right? And then let's talk about something else. You need to understand your history. You need to understand what you come from. You need to understand what you need to be moving to, all right? Have an education on economics to some capacity, all right? Don't be completely oblivious to things. Know a lot of things. You don't got to be masters of everything, but know things, all right? And I can't emphasize enough, focus on your mental health. And what I mean, you should develop practices that will enhance your mental health. Take some time to be alone. Take some time to think about the things that offended you. Take some time to think about the things that hurt you. Take some time to think about where you have been maybe overreacting to something. Or take some time to think about traumas that's happened to you, and don't live life trying to cover up and patch those areas so much that you don't realize that it's pouring out in other areas. Patch yourself up. Build real relationships with people, honest relationships with people. Find people that you can trust and people that's gonna hold you accountable and help you grow with the best intention for your life. Work and look for opportunities to continue to develop and honor your future, all right? And we're gonna leave it at that, man. I don't wanna overwhelm you with information. We can go or we can go. Drop a comment in the comment section. Give the video a like, a share, and let me know what y'all think, man. I'm looking forward to continue to pour into this page the year 2026. I pray everybody continue to grow. I pray everybody continue to build. It's your brother Z, Yaron, ZMR in the building. Zamar with Diadem Crown Thinking. We got some stuff coming for y'all. Y'all stay tuned. First video, top of 2026. Much love to you. Tap in.